In this video, we are going to talk more in-depthly about the product roadmaps and really how they can help team collaboration. So I will go ahead and screen share and we can get started. As I've mentioned in previous videos, there are a lot of customization and different things you can do in Jira to really help set it up to meet your needs. This can feel a little bit overwhelming, which is why we're going to start first with just some basic roadmap configuration. So we're going to start here with these three dots, and we're going to go over here to configure our roadmap. And you'll notice that we have the child level issue scheduling. If you'll remember, our epic is going to be completing that large training, and then some of our smaller tasks to complete that larger project were practicing public speaking, developing content. So I currently have this toggled on. What this means is every date I have for those smaller tasks that roll up to that larger epics will show on the roadmap. We'll take a look real quick at what it looks like when I take this off. So we'll go back to my roadmap and we'll see that these tasks right here aren't displaying a bar of the finish date. And it is nice to not only see this larger project, but also see these smaller tasks. So we're going to go back over here, configure our roadmap. We're going to toggle this back on, and then we're going to go back to our project in our roadmap. We'll now see that we have a due date that is started for create content. So I'm going to make a presentation. I'm going to click this one, and I don't currently have a due date on here. So what I'm going to do is we'll add a due date. We know that our main project is due August 9th. So ideally, we'll make a presentation done before August 9th. We'll put this date for Friday the 5th. And then we'll go ahead, make sure that's saved. And then we're starting to see these tasks build and compound on one another. We'll go to our last task, practice public speaking. We'll say this is due right before that August 9th due date up here. So we'll complete that. And there you have it. All of these dates are now before our main date. So another nice thing we can do while we're here is just making sure that we're adding more detail. Creating content is a little bit vague on the roadmap. So what does that mean? Record 5 videos practicing the content or something. Just making sure that we're adding more detail. Now that we've added in these dates, we're also going to go up here to view our roadmap settings. And you'll see that it's configured to show epics completed in the last 12 months. If we want, we can even shorten this duration to be 6 months. We can also hide completed epic issues. This might be a good conversation to have with your stakeholders to see what type of picture do they want to have, because this roadmap is really for senior leadership to look at. It's a place for them to see all of the initiatives. How are they tracking? If you do quarterly OMs and things like that, objectives and milestones, your roadmap would be a great place to track that. So that'd be a conversation to have with them. Should you show all of your epics that are completed? Should you just show the ones completed recently? Things like that. Dependencies are very helpful from a project management point of view to just really understand. We can't create a training program if we don't have a presentation to put it in. So that would be a dependency. Progress, this is the progress bar. It's really nice to see what our due date is right here, August 5th. So I would recommend always keeping these checked from that product roadmap standpoint. And we also talked about in this video, team collaboration. So we always want to make sure that we are, assigning the right people for each task. We want to add people to our board, making sure that they can view it. Sometimes you have to actually share it specifically to the roadmap, so that's a nice thing to do. Another way to collaborate is we can use the share button right up here, and we can just type in their email, and we can add a message. We can also, if someone doesn't have access to Jira and they don't need access, like maybe you have a client, another option could be actually exporting this. And that would be nice if you had any kind of sensitive material. You could just give them a screenshot and then they wouldn't take up a license fee in Jira. So these are all just different examples of really how to collaborate on your roadmap. But just to highlight some key things you're really going to want to consider, epics will always be your large projects. These smaller tasks will basically compound on one another until you complete this. Due dates are your friends. Always, always, always use due dates. Without due dates, you're kind of tracking towards a task that doesn't really have a definitive date of when you're going to complete it. So that's very important. And overall, just use this as your central hub that team members can all look at. This roadmap should represent your whole team. It shouldn't be something that you individually use for your own goals, but instead for team goals. So that is our overview of roadmaps and how they promote team collaboration. Thanks for watching.